Hi, I'm Doug Hart, and I'm a painter, artist, illustrator. So I started in 1984, and I started doing My Little Pony. And then by 1986, that's when I started doing G.I. Joe, which I loved doing. Because I do figures and faces, and a lot of people don't. And so that's it set me apart from a lot of people. I loved everything I did about it. So 1986, and then into, right up to 1999 doing the 3 3/4 figure illustrations, yeah.
As part of the mission to like pin down what you did versus what Hector did versus what some freelancers did, I thought we could go through chronologically.
Yeah, you did a great job, and finally I've been getting acknowledgments, which was good.
So this is the 1986 stuff. I do not think that you created any of these illustrations.
No.
But let's just flip through and see if any of them kind of catch your eye. The point of this is that if you did do it, I can give you credit for it, right?
Right.
And also, like, if you remember any stories of like who you used, or
Yeah, as it got going. See, that's mine. The black.
You painted the Night Raven.
Yeah, I had to change that to the other. Yep.
To the Sky Patrol.
Yeah.
To the Sky Raven.
Yeah, right.
Later on. But did you do the original or just the Sky Patrol one?
No, I did this. This is the black, whatever it is. Yeah, this one
that's
here.
The Night Raven.
Yeah, right. Well, I did the other one too. That it was mirrored, and that was tougher to do because because you couldn't. Like, this is actually easy. It was just airbrush black on black on black and do some highlighting with the blue. So that would have been around
1985.
Yes, right. Yeah, exactly. When this started coming in, that's when I started doing more and more stuff.
Well, there you go. So that's probably some of your earliest work, because that would have been painted in '85.
But not
who
yet.
Did these two? These
I don't know. This is not good. It's not
no.
Hector's. I think I retouched this guy to make him look more like a human. Yeah, because this is not good.
Well, I'm glad to hear it's not your baby.
That's not. Look at the shoulders. You can't do that. What the guy? You guy's a humpback.
The anatomy's terrible in that one.
Am I right or wrong?
It's just occasional. It's like, it's not everyone. Like,
no.
This one's pretty good.
Yeah, but this guy's pretty good.
Yeah.
This is Hector's because of the white outline.
I agree.
Yeah, that's Hector. Yeah. This is the Paul Alexander.
This is Paul. He actually signed it right there.
Oh yeah, right. I recognize it. Now he worked in gouache totally. You know what I mean? Because what he could do was bleed some of the back. He'd do his whole background probably first. He'd mask all this stuff out, and then all this stuff is wet on wet. What I mean by that, he wet the board with water first, and then bleed in the tap the colors in. It was impressive. He was aerators. I had an idea how he did it, and I started practicing setting up a palette to do the backgrounds for aerators with the red and the oranges and reds and in the background and stuff like that. I found that you were a cheaper board, and not a real good board, but a cheaper board to take the bleeds better, the water better, and it would stay wetter longer because it was cheaper stock. But anyway, you wet the whole board, and then you have whatever it is. Then you throw in the colors, and then you bleed off of each. Then you let the thing take off, and whatever. But that's what he did.
So I'm assuming Paul Alexander was an external resource as well.
He was big time. I have a book on my shelf over here, and I used to collect his stuff because he did the Robotech too.
Okay.
Up for Milton Bradley. And he did the Fire Island. Was it?
Yes, Fireball Island.
Fireball.
Yes.
Yeah, I have that. But no, he like the best. I mean, it was inspiring.
It's amazing to me. This is another offer for direct mail. So this was probably managed by BBDO under the behest of
BBDO.
It's an advertising agency that specialized in direct mail that helped Kirk Bazigian get the Hasbro Direct off the ground. That was the agency that they engaged with to start making all that paperwork, making all those offers. So they helped with the writing of them and also the hiring of the artists. So that's why there's such a variety with the BBDO stuff that looks unlike a lot of the other G.I. Joe stuff. This was Paul Alexander's only G.I. Joe piece that I know of.
Yes. Yeah, right. Well, he was probably working at this time with the aerators too.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did you make the case as the internal resource that wanted to work on other things like G.I. Joe and like aerators? They've got external resources like Hector Garrido on G.I. Joe and Paul Alexander on aerators. How'd you make the case for them to give you some of that work?
That I was getting to be recognized to a point, and because I could do My Little Pony, and then I switched to G.I. Joe, and then the back and forth. And then what happens with all these lines, every line that you did, Tribes was another one, is that's too big. They're too big. One person couldn't do it.
Just a workload issue.
So, and then with Visionary was the same way. Visionaries were the lines were getting too big.
Yep.
And so one person couldn't do it. And then Cops came around, and they wanted the same guy that did Visionaries to work on it. He said he could do the figures, but he couldn't do the vehicles.
Do you remember who was working on Cops?
Kurt Reinert. He used to do horror. Now, he wasn't a Mandola artist, but he had a rep. But he was very good. He was very, very good.
It sounds like you were one of the more adaptable artists that could really...
I used to be complimented on it with a person that worked there, Andy Perlmutter. A lot of artists, they do their own kind of technique, and that's it.
This looks like Paul Alexander to me too, but I have no confirmation.
No, it's not. No.
Okay. But this is another mail order piece, probably managed by BBDO. And then these, you get into licensed products, so there's no telling who. Yeah. You know, the licensed products were illustrated out of house by whoever the licensee chose.
Exactly. Yeah.
So none of your stuff there. All right, so now we get into 1987, and I think we're going to see some of your first card art here.
This I thought was mine, but it's not. I mean, but this one here was a bummer, because it came in, and actually there was another artist that I was working with. They hired, and that was a perfect example. He could not change his technique. Yep. His technique was this. It was it was montage, and then he worked on a stock, like a watercolor stock, and his and then he'd be transparent. So he couldn't work opaque, but he'd do his own thing. Yeah. Actually, that's one of the one that was the illustration. I couldn't do it, but it was an illustration. It was a battle scene with these one of the vehicles, a big, huge with the missiles. It was given it to him to do it. That was his turn to do it, because he was an illustrator too, you know, and he worked in the same department, and he worked right next to me. So they were kind of like, making a department out of it. Anyway, and then Bob Lavoie, whatever. And then so but he really couldn't. That's it.
See,
okay, but no. You see, you're great. No. So anyway,
the 1980 catalog.
And again, you retouched that. And you made it. That's like unbelievable.
Crush the blacks. Up
No.
the
I mean, it's beautiful. Anyway, well, that was the illustration, and he was given to him, and he'd labor over the freaking thing. Finally, 8 weeks later, it was like, well, I think we might want to just. And I didn't have time.
Was he internal or a freelancer?
He was internal.
Oh, he was internal.
I had there were like two illustrators. There was another person, a Robin Cuddy. Now she did My Little Pony too. This person was Dave Graves. Anyway, the reason I brought it up, he used to always wear these Hawaiian shirts because he was from California, But he'd bring it. He almost looked like this guy right here. Yeah. But anyway, here's another perfect example. See that gun? What are you doing to do with that gun?
Why do you have your finger on the trigger and you're twisting it out this way?
Anyway, Hector, when he didn't use reference, this is what happened.
Hector created some crazy poses with guns. They would half the time they weren't even holding it on the handle. He'd be holding it on the stock.
They'd come in and we go, that ain't right.
That's not
well, right. Well, that's why I started. I had a squirt gun. I'd say to somebody, here, hold that, and then whatever. But anyway, that's a story to that.
So no big boa.
No, I wish I had done this one. I loved. I think that's Hector, right?
I've got a big blow up of that.
That's a beauty. Yeah, I know you do because I saw that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
This face looks more detailed than Hector's. And I would guess that was maybe Earl Norem.
The reason I think you're right is there was an illustrator that I could tell the difference, and I could tell the difference by by the stock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
You'll
when
see a lot
came,
of him in '88.
Yeah, and Hector used to work with a Bainbridge board that was they're called plate finish.
1/8 of an inch.
No. It was plate, which is shiny.
Oh, okay.
It was flat. There was no texture to it at all. When these artists used to, and I'm pretty sure both of those, because you can kind of see it in here a little bit, where it's more watercolory. Okay. And then again the faces aren't they're not like stock like Hector's was.
Right.
And then Hector, see, these don't have the white line.
Yep.
And then Hector has the white
lines.
Yeah, right here.
Separation in the layers.
Anyway, but both of these, I remember part of this. See this here? You can't. That is there's a certain way you can probably do it.
Yep.
But with a textured stock, which is not Hector's. Hector's is slick.
Smooth.
It's as slick as this.
Yep.
That's called plate finish. The other one's called a regular. What was it called? There's hot press and there's cold press. So hot press would be slick. because it would be to make the board, the press had to be hot, and it would stay hot. But the coal was like, it was textured.
Right.
So that's the difference. So he worked on hot press,
Yep.
and which was slick.
So I still think we're getting Hector in here,
That's Hector, yeah.
but it's supplemented by other guys already
Definitely.
in '87.
So, but there's a perfect thing there.
Yeah. Like
this is. I think I had something about this. I think I had to redo the face or something.
Yeah. Didn't you have reference photo? I think it was an employee or somebody that was
Not on this. I didn't do the overall illustration.
Okay.
But yeah.
Gotcha. You just retouched it a little bit. And this is not Hector.
And again, that was done on that textured stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like it had some photo reference. This absolutely does not.
Oh, of course, yeah. Of course. Oh, I was going to say about this stuff. See this? See the background,
Yeah,
the digital?
digital explosion.
Well, that was this was at the time when I went to Jerry Pilkington. He was an artist too, but he was an art director for packaging for a long, long time, for like 30 years, whatever. Nicest guy in the whole wide world. Anyway, I went to him. I said, "You got to help me out here." And he said, "Well, let me see what I can do." Eventually, they figured out in the printing or whatever how to do this without me having all Bob Lavoie.
I think that was 1989 or 90.
Yeah.
Something
No,
else.
this toothy stock, you could not take that Mauve marker,
Right.
and it had to be slick. It had to be a slick thing. So this was at the point when I saw it, I go, it has to be, because you'd have to mask off the figure wherever it is, and then start using this. And it was
so
these are
tight.
too close. It's
So
too
tight to
close.
his ankle there?
Right, exactly. It's too. So those were done. Thank God,
Kind of in
by Jerry, production or whatever.
Yeah.
However they did it, I
They
don't
weren't
know
on the
how.
computer yet then, were they?
No.
I didn't think so, 'cause-
No. But these stories, you got to come back and we'll do some more stories.
Nobody else had.
No, these are mine.
There you go.
Yeah.
So this is your break-in to
Yeah.
Departed. This
Well,
is still Hector.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Can you
yeah.
determine which 6 you
Yeah,
did?
this one's mine. This one's mine. This was me, actually.
Nice.
That was me. That was one of the faces that I used. Because that's when they were starting to promote me. This was really beginning of that.
Right.
Because I had to like, oh, geez, I better prove myself. But this is the guy, Andy Perlmutter. And he was promoting me. And he was the art director for Boys Toys then. But so I said, well, I got to do some reference. He said, well, how about we'll do this guy and we'll do that. And I had a picture with a spectra camera of Andy, and he was kneeling with this. That's when it all started taking off.
That's when the floodgates opened for
Yeah.
you.
This is mine.
The Mamba.
Yeah.
You did the Mamba too?
Yeah, I did that.
Wow, so they were
Either that or
hiring you to
another
do-
one. These are all vehicles when I did that was the other one that started doing it too, was when they saw I did the space shuttle and then the figures.
Yeah, the
And,
Defiant in
so
the
that
1987
was actually
catalog.
done before those.
Right.
Well, you tell me.
Yeah.
Before these, that was that was done before.
My opinion was that your very first thing you did for G.I. Joe was that 87 catalog composition. And that showed you could do figures and vehicles.
Exactly.
And then they gave you your big break on the figures with the Battle Force 2000. You split the load with Hector.
Yeah. So I kind of was breaking in mostly with that space shuttle, but I
let me
had
know
to
if
do
you
it.
did any of these vehicles.
No, I didn't. No.
What you said.
Well, this one was mine. Either that or it was another one that came in. You know. Well, no, this has got the white line. That's Hector's. Yeah, that's Hector's. See, it's got the white.
You wouldn't have
Yeah,
done
you
that.
can tell. I don't do white. No. Everybody used.
This was just
Everybody
on a
used
file
my
folder.
thing though.
They did.
That was probably
You were
different.
certainly inspiration.
So
for
this
that,
is done on that hot press. No, cold press.
folder from Imagining.
Yeah. So that's rough and kind of like
They
earthy.
got gung-ho.
That's mine.
That's the Defiant package.
But that's mine.
yeah?
Yeah.
You worked on that?
Yeah. No, this piece.
Just that portion of it, so not this portion?
No, not that. This was
Interesting.
it. Yeah, that was mine.
So they had you do the whole shuttle, because it does look completely airbrushed.
And it was, and that's why I did it. Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
Definitely.
So they had two of you guys work on the Defiant package then.
I just did this is spliced in.
Yeah,
It's not on
of
the
course.
same piece.
Of course.
But that one there I did separately. Yeah, definitely.
Exciting.
Yeah.
See, these guys are so much better than the Dreadnoks that were pictured in the prior vehicles. This is a Garrido for sure.
Probably posed somebody sitting.
All right, so this one is a mystery. This is the Mobile Command Center that came out in 1987. This is the box art that was actually released. This is the Mobile Command Center, same vehicle, but this artwork never saw release until 1989 as part of a calendar.
Right.
But so this has all of the 1987 figures and vehicles. So that looks like it was going to be more of a piece of catalog art. This is the 1987 Persuader, the Dreadnought Tricycle, the Buzz Bore, the Mobile Command Center, and all of these figures that are shown are 1987 figures. So I can't imagine any reason for creating that other than a montage for the 1987 catalog. But if they created that for the catalog, your Defiant image trumped it. Your Defiant image ended up
I
being
got you.
the
Okay,
1987 catalog. So this didn't see print for 2 years.
Right. No, this is done hot press. This is cold press. Cold press is toothy.
Right.
So that's why you get all this like texture, and washy in texture. I'm surprised that's not Hector, but for some reason he took it on himself to do the outline, the white outline. Yeah. Like if you pictured Paul Alexander doing this, these guys would be flashed and they'd be with the outlining, each thing, where you shoulder everything.
So we don't know who made that or why it was held back for a couple years. So these are the Battle Force 2000 vehicles. Yeah.
That was done on the toothy stock, and this was too. That wasn't Hector's.
So no, I agree, and we think these might be Earl Norem. Yeah. The same guy that does the more detailed stuff that we'll see more of in '88. Right. I'll show you some more, but we think that the motorized action packs
and obviously
were drawn by Norem.
All in the same time. Hector was probably doing these guys and busy as heck doing them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And these are all different too.
These were Dave Dorman?
Dave Dorman,
Yep. Right. This looked airbrushed to me.
Oh, no, it is. Oh, absolutely. This is airbrushed.
Okay.
And it was gouache. I did it in gouache.
I think a lot of people don't understand this, that airbrush is the vehicle by which you distribute the medium, but you can use different types of paints in an airbrush.
Oh, absolutely.
So you were using gouache inside your airbrush.
At that time, gouache. Yeah. And it wasn't all, obviously, fine detail stuff is not airbrushed. Anything that was big and backgrounds, you use the airbrush. Like I would do the whole background first. Right. That's what I would do first. And that includes the stars and this and that. But all these things, all these elements would be masked off. I used to use Frisket then, But anyway, so the whole thing would be masked off, and then you do the whole background. Right. And I mean all the background. Yeah. And I'd probably I probably came around to this part of it, and then started to, and again masked off. So this is all the background was done, and then I started working up. Now, to do this guy was separate. The Friskets I used to use was a high tack and low tack. The low tack, this background that was airbrushed, you could put it over this, and you could pull it back up again. So I'd mask off this, and then I would do the airbrushing. But any of the seam lines and all that stuff, no, the seam lines and everything had to be done with brush. And then I'd get back, and this is airbrushed in here, but it's part of the background. This, the beret was airbrushed, his helmet, parts of it, but I used the Frisket. This is Christopher Reeve, right, and that was Superman. I have him right in my little thing over here.
Do you recall who Gung Ho might have been?
Yeah, it was Omar Sharif, and I have the movie books from Dr. Zhivago. Yeah. And again, you don't want to use them exactly because then you got to pay rights to the guy. Right.
You can definitely tell the primary light source is the thrust of the rockets, and it's illuminating these guys. And the further they get away from the background, the less that light is affecting them. It's brilliant depth.
Right. Now this is a montage.
Right, because it wouldn't exist in one scene.
Right. Exactly. Now this is an illustration. It's just, I would say,
this could be a photo taken out of a camera.
Action illustration, but it's all one thing. See, that's where I remember doing it. Ta-da.
That's why you said that.
That's where I knew I did it. Yeah. But I was like, that's where I did it. Yeah. I did that illustration. So I've done them all.
So this was your big break. This was your first.
Yeah. Well, this is airbrush too, obviously.
Right. Yeah. Ed Morrill was not happy that you did that.
What? Why?
Well, he's the guy. He's the branding guy that makes the logos, and everybody gets offended when you mess with their logo.
Oh, well,
you know what I mean. You took some liberties.
Oh, I see. Yeah, and I think I was told that it's kicking it up.
Yeah, you're cutting into it with the
I think I was told that.
Yeah.
That sounds very familiar. I think maybe somebody said that to me.
The people,
but they liked it.
We call them brand police. People that just protect the brand.
Now that's a funny story. Yeah. That's really funny.
This is all Earl Norem. These were 2 books that Marvel published.
I remember those. Yeah, those are pretty. Those are nice. Yeah, those are nice. Very nice.
Yeah, Earl Norem's a classic. Yeah. He did a lot of He-Man art as well. Yeah. These are still Hector Garrido. He did through issue number 20. I just broke them up because of the years that they were published. So that's all Garrido.
They
This is
got
an
their money's
unknown-
worth on this guy. That's a nice figure, though, by the way.
It's a
I used to
beautiful
use
figure.
that.
Beautiful figure.
Yeah, he did a nice. See, he posed that. I definitely posed that.
But so they redrew all of this, though. It looks at Hector's art and redraws it. Same with Chuckles.
Yeah,
That's not the Chuckles packaging. That's not Recondo. It's kind of weird that this is an 84, 87, 87 figure. And then they put in some Vietnam green shirts coming out of the Tomahawk.
Right.
So this was a licensed product, and we have no clue who illustrated this. They're still using BBDO, the external agency, for a lot of the offer paperwork. So you see a lot of random stuff. This, I'm convinced, was drawn by somebody like Hasbro internal. They sent it home with their grandkid or something.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right.
These are laughable. But look, he's got the Sasquatch pose. You remember the photo of the Sasquatch where he's walking away? I think they used photo reference of the Sasquatch for that one.
That's funny. The one where it might be the Sasquatch or it might not be.
Right,
It's like, where do they get these stuff? That's funny.
This was Dave Dorman. This is probably his single best piece. We don't know who this was by either. This was a poster that was sent out to comic book shops.
That's not very good.
It's got a lot of the big white
See, this is what
highlights.
happens when you have no reference.
Yeah.
And this probably looks exactly like the artist. That's what the that's an old like an old wives'
Look at
tale.
himself in the
But
mirror.
no, they don't. Yeah, it ends up just looking like them.
So that was your first year, 1987.
Oh, okay.
So the rest of these, I think there's going to be a lot.
Lot, yeah.
A lot of your work.
Right, yeah. Well, that covers mine,
Keep you
yeah.
out here too long.
That's so funny you picked up on that.
Well, it's the best piece that we had for 88 or 89. I preferred this to the collage of this one.
Again, that's the toothy stock.
I think that's Earl Norem.
Yeah. That's a different stock. It's washy. See how washy this is? It's transparent and washes and stuff.
So I was mentioning to you that I thought Earl Norem did some in 87 and quite a bit more in 88. That definitely looks like Earl Norem.
Yeah, no, yeah. But it's very nicely done.
These guys, you zoom in on them, they look great.
Yeah, I remember seeing the original on that, yeah.
So Earl Norem definitely did this one.
Yeah,
I've seen
that's
the
right.
line
You're
art
right. Yep,
where
absolutely.
it's
Yep.
signed.
Sorry.
And so I don't know how many of these he did.
I remember seeing that. And again, it's on that stock.
And so he would have been working externally. They would have been sending him work.
We were wondering if something was going on with Hector. We were saying they were different.
This was the end of a 20-year relationship with Siegel, Morrill, La Puma, and Coleman.
Everything kind of like was tapered off, and then we pulled everything in-house, I told you, with the art directors.
So if you know any of the other illustrators, let me know.
Yeah.
Or obviously, if you painted anything, let me know. This looks like Earl Norem to me as
Yes,
well.
you have good, because that's washy. That's, again, that's this. See all this stuff in here? It's not as
this one too.
slick. No, that one I don't. No, you might be right. I don't know. This one definitely. That's that.
This is Garrido.
Yeah, that's Hector's. Yeah, definitely. And I think that was Hector's.
I think it is too, especially look at the white lines creating separation there.
Yeah. What
So,
year?
yeah, we've got
what
a
years
mix.
with this?
This is 88. So in 88, they were using a mix of freelancers, their traditional agency, which would be Garrido, freelancers like Earl Norem. There's Garrido right there. There's Garrido.
Now,
right
where
there.
was he located, Earl Norem? Norem?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. And how did he come in, through Mendola?
Don't know.
Oh, wow.
Somebody was able to confirm with the line art that Budo was definitely Norem, and we had already been hypothesizing it, and we knew he had done those Marvel big looker books because he was credited with
Right.
those.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was already doing G.I. Joe stuff. He was obviously already on their radar. I think they just said, hey, look what he did with those books. That's great.
Yeah.
Can he do some card art? Okay, let's hire him. I think they were just looking for ways to diversify how they were getting the artwork done. So it wasn't all dependent on Hector Garrido.
Right. Exactly.
But then by 1989, they're like, okay, cool, we're bringing it all in-house.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what helped me out. You
Exactly.
know. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think that was the other thing about it was about money, that they found somebody cheaper.
I don't know if an Earl Norem would be cheaper than a Hector
I don't
Garrido,
think so either. I didn't even know that guy.
I wouldn't think
Yeah,
so.
This one's nice. I always liked
Did you
that
do
one.
any of these?
No, but I like this one because again, look
I
at your,
thought that
look
was
at your
yours.
lighting.
I thought
No,
that was
because of the
yours.
lighting and stuff. Well, I did do him in the mural puzzle. That one I use all the time for lighting. The
Well, I was
lighting.
kind
is
of
beautiful.
expecting
I mean, look at the difference
Yeah.
with that
Right,
nice
it's so-
lighting.
so
and
flat.
blast. Yeah. So like this one here, the arm is just flat.
Yeah.
There's no lighting, and there's no lighting on. Would be nice on the knee or what, whatever. But
So I was expecting you to have done some of these.
no.
No.
Now here's another one I loved,
Yeah.
and I think that's the guy you're talking about did that one.
Earl Norem.
I think that was done on that again, the stock. No, this one was done. He did that one.
I think that's another Earl Norem.
Yes, I think it is. I think
the
you're right.
worm's eye view, the perspective. That one really intimidated me as a kid.
How old would you have been?
9.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
What a great thing you grew up with, though, when you think about it.
yeah.
We were always fighting, though. You see, it got more and more with all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if
what
you
were you?
noticed this.
You were attracted to the artwork.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you noticed what we did in this book. We've removed every promo that they put on top of here.
I knew it looked a little.
Not only did the accessory bubbles start encroaching on the artwork, they'd started putting giant promos in the corners. And so when I collected every one of these mint on the card.
I knew something was like. It looked nice.
Because I'm here for the art.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
sure,
here for the
sure,
promo burst
Yeah,
that
yeah,
were
yeah.
covering the art.
But yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, we had to work hard on that.
So that is funny.
This is an awesome pose right here.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
definitely
nice one.
contorted with
Yeah.
the knee coming out. This leg
That's
going straight
Hector's.
back.
I'm pretty sure that's Hector.
I think so too.
Yeah,
the white
definitely.
dashes there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they see the white out around his arm. That's
This is not
Hector's.
Hector though.
No,
If
that's
that was
not.
Hector, he would have used white to separate that arm from that gun, for
but
example.
I can tell by the scratchiness of the face. It's dark,
And
I think sometimes he used black. So you don't use black ever. You never use black to do shadows, and especially in a face. That's black. You don't do that.
And I don't think that's Norem either. So to me, it's like you've got Garrido, you've got Norem, you've got another guy. So they
And
were
I
just
think this is like this.
Norem as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So they were using multiple guys for 80.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm surprised that you didn't paint any of them. This looks to be Norem to me as well.
Yeah, I remember
Go
that.
back to this Norem, it's a very similar representation
It
of
is.
that guy.
It is. Yeah, he did that.
So I think Voltar is Norem.
Yep.
Not sure on this one. Doesn't look like Hector. Doesn't look like Norem. I don't know who did that one.
Yeah, those are. Yep.
These were just repaints over their original releases. These were all repaints over the originals.
What year is this now?
88.
Okay, so it's still early.
Mm-hmm. So then we got some vehicles. I doubt you touched up any of these. But it's good just to see if anything rings a bell.
Yeah, it's amazing what he did. Because they got somebody to do the figures. I think that's that's what they wanted, to get somebody to do the figures, and he could keep doing the vehicles.
Oh, really?
Because this is time consuming.
This looks airbrushed.
Oh yeah, he would, but then there was some that came in. He couldn't use it too well. It was spattery. But if you back up on it, or if you're not used to it, if you put too much paint in it, it's going to get stipply. Right, it won't flow. It won't be slick. You can't go, and it's going to be done.
Right.
You go back.
Right,
It's
and he
very slow, very slow. A lot of people don't have the patience for it.
Sure.
Absolutely, and they don't know how to mix the paint. They don't know how to mix the paint plus the water. And then if you have a double action, pull back on it. A lot of people couldn't do that either. They'd have to be just touched down and then adjust your front. And a lot of people, any people that came in, I used to explain how to use the airbrush because they'd like to have it for their packaging or for their comps and stuff, and just to, do it for like very quick. But they never got it. I mean, yeah.
It was interesting. They always used contradictory motion lines. I always knew that was a Garrido.
I think that is Hector.
See, look, you got motion lines in front of that tire, but then you got motion lines behind that tire. It's like, well, which way is it
Well,
going?
they liked a lot of action.
For sure.
There was one illustration, it might come up, where I had to keep going with it. Oh, they wanted more. And then how's this? And no, they wanted more spoke and whatever it was. I'll show it to you when it comes up.
This is back to Dave Dorman. That's the most interesting composition that he did for the magazine, I thought. It's just got a story to it that's kind of compelling.
Yeah. But whereas
these are not so compelling.
This needs work.
This is another Earl Norem. This was a book cover.
I like that.
And they also repurposed it as a fold-out poster for the magazine.
Yeah, that's a real winner. But see the lighting on that? This guy almost right in the center. the whitest white up against the darkest dark, and it's like you can't miss it and stuff. It's very knowledgeable,
course,
all
that's
that
Duke,
stuff.
you know, just
Yeah,
popping right
no,
off.
very nice stuff. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
then we get back
this
to
one, not so
BBDO.
much.
No, but this is the inconsistency of the BBDO illustrators, right? These offers, this is mediocre at best, right? But some of the BBDO stuff is really good.
Yeah.
I don't know how they held their standards.
There's mine. But again, you enhanced it with the colors. It looks
my best.
nice, yeah.
Hopefully it's not offensive. Hopefully it's
Oh, no,
seen
not
as a
at all,
value
not
added.
at all. But you see the difference in the first illustration and then this one? I got better at it. This head was big enough to start doing more like a nice face.
Oh, it's way more chiseled.
Yeah, it's got more colorful and more detail to it. And then, of course, these two things were the main things, you know.
I loved getting a chance to see the Bobcat.
Yeah. I worked out that one that was in the other book, whatever.
Your Bobcat's better than the package Bobcat, though.
I probably just started pulling all my animal reference back out and stuff. Yeah.
There you were playing with the logo again.
Yeah, I did. They liked that. I kept throwing it in there, and I'm like, you know, it told the story, didn't it?
It does. Falcon's targeting Cobra, Voltar's targeting G.I. Joe. It's definitely thematic. I also really like the abstract vulture back here.
Yep. Yeah, I tried to work something mean back
Really
there.
cool, man.
Yeah. That was. Do you have a puzzle?
I've got these built and assembled. Yeah, they're large.
Yeah, the man. How old were you with that when you got that
That puzzle?
Yeah.
About 36. Don't judge me.
Really? You
Yeah.
were really?
Yeah,
wow.
I didn't have it as a
Oh,
kid.
Jesus Christ.
There's nothing wrong with enjoying kid stuff as an adult.
No, I'm not. Jesus Christ. You know, I'm painting with a paintbrush here. You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
So these are all Earl Norem.
Yeah,
These
no.
are,
I see now. Yeah, now this tells a story. Sure.
These are beautiful.
Very,
I
very
love
nice.
this one right
very
here.
nice. Yeah. Probably one of the. And he's really posed too. That's a posed.
And when you zoom in on the background of
Oh,
these,
yeah, no,
this guy's psych out has like picked up and is DDTing a Cobra. There's lots of figures back here. He spent more time on these than he probably had to.
This and the face and everything. He's hired models for this stuff. It's so difficult to find decent models and a model.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to like work with nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, but people expected the top of like, you know, like, oh, well, this, especially paperback, but they would give you nothing. I found out it was very expensive. There was a model place in New York where they would work with illustrators, painters and illustrators, where you would call them up, send them a layout, and they would prop it for you.
Okay.
And if you told them, oh, so-and-so, it's going to have a gown, it's going to have this, it's going to have that. Oh, they would do the whole thing for you. But you send them a layout, and then they would pose it and then put all the props. There was a prop house. Yeah. So you could ask for Army, you could ask for romance, you could ask for this, you know, African safari. Right. They would find it for you. Oh no, yeah, it was a prop house. It was for illustrators. Yep. So I found out that after, but it wasn't cheap, you know. So you had to be paid pretty good. So. Oh no, his stuff is very nice. This is not nice.
Then we go to the other end of the spectrum. These were licensed products, so again, they were not hired by Hasbro. You know, it was the Wild West when it came to licensed artwork. There was literally no telling who you're going to get. And I mean, these are jovial and fun. It's a bathroom kit with shampoo and soap and stuff. It's made for kids. They probably spent $50 on it, you know. So now we get into the
I always like this figure too.
Yeah, Alley Viper, he's great.
And I use that pose sometimes too.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Yep.
So,
And this one was nice.
I'm wondering...
I didn't know if it was Hector's or not, but I mean, it was...
It kind of looks like it is due to the separation lines and everything.
Right.
But...
This is mine here. And that was airbrushed.
Oh, you did Target?
Yeah. And this is mine. That's mine. What else is... Oh, that's mine.
So you didn't do any of these three, though, right?
Yeah, those... Okay. No. And that's
did
mine.
Countdown?
Yeah, did that guy.
I love the space scene.
Yeah, right. I worked the reflection of that. Yeah, I don't know where I got that from. Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's a pretty boring, big front visor.
Right. Yeah, right.
So, All right, so you did a few card arts in 1987, like we talked about Battle Force 2000.
Right, yeah.
You were doing puzzle collages and posters and stuff, but you didn't really do a lot of carded figures from 87 to now 89. Now you're back in the game.
Yeah, it just all depended on, like, you know, if they couldn't get anybody and their line got too big, and then depending what I was working on.
Yep.
I mean, again, you know, I guess it's like Brady. Not that I, you know, no, but I mean, you just want to do something else. And I saw maybe at that time Tribes,
Yep.
which was a beautiful line again done in gouache.
Yep.
And the guy that would be, and again, an illustrator, Bill George, he was a Western artist, but he worked with gouache and and they got some, Bill did some layouts for R&D and of the, you know, what they wanted to do with Tribes. And they were just magnificent. I had told you that I did one when I think it was an Indian, but he had a headdress
top of a bear?
Yeah, he was holding a torch, you know, and he was on top of the bear. And I was working on that, and I was having a great time. It was fun to get the reference of the bear. And they ain't easy to draw because the little, and the eyes a little, anyway. But and then the eye, right, yeah. And he comes over and he takes my brush, comes out of my hand, and he said they just canceled the line, you know. But I kept the thing going and finished the painting because I had nothing else to do. Okay. So anyway, that's what I was probably doing at this time, probably, yeah.
Any of the other four?
No.
So you were literally sitting there working on Tribes.
There was other ones coming through too. There was Dark Water. That was with Disney. We were working with these blue line boards and how Disney does their blue line.
Look at how
that one was.
This one is.
I think that's what
Earl Norem.
Yeah,
that one's hyper realistic.
Yeah, because you can see the textures.
And it's such a shame that they covered it with the bubble. It's
Oh,
just a travesty.
yeah. I mean, you know, tell me about it.
Why do you have this gap here? When I showed this to Ed Morrill, that was the packaging guy, they were phasing him out in 89. He looked at that and was like, why is this space here? Why is that covering the artwork? Like, that never would have happened. And the same thing here. They really started just encroaching for not great reasons. But
that's marketing for you. If it was up to them, they'd just take over the whole thing. Yeah. And that's what they've done now, matter of fact.
Yes.
It's like a slice of artwork. It's like, why even bother?
So these are not Garrido. This looks like Norem to me. These do not look like Hector or Norem.
This one, well, no, they don't, because the lighting is very drastic for more. Yeah.
This one looks like it could be Garrido to me.
Definitely.
But it's still, so like 89, we've got a mix.
I mean, maybe in some ways, you know, I'm looking at this, you know, and it's a little more slicker.
It's got good perspective.
I could tell by the original, because what he would do with this, and I can see he didn't use any airbrushing, but he really concentrated on the slickness of it.
Gradient.
But I started bringing in maybe, because they ended up liking what I did with airbrushing, because it was slicker.
Yeah.
You know, and they liked that. Everybody was like, it was almost like the twinkle thing, the twinkle lights. You know what I mean? And the more and more they saw it, the more, and they did that with My Little Pony too.
Yeah.
They started seeing how I could model the ponies, like the rump going around. The other person started to she'd paint it by hand, you know. This is mine, which is, but again, it's slicker, you know. But that one.
I would define yours by the seamless gradients. Like your transitions from one color to the next are always super smooth.
It's blended and it's realistic. It's more. This one I always like too, though. I mean, I like that coloration.
I like the red highlights.
I do, and
otherwise he's a pretty.
That's what started giving me the idea of using more, like a brighter, like rim lighting. Right. Yeah.
There's a little bit of separation white. I'm not sure if that makes it a Garrido or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
So this isn't you.
No.
I thought that would have been yours.
No.
All right, cool. So just scoop on that page.
That was mine. Yeah, definitely.
The Target vehicle, this was designed by Mark Pennington. He wanted the vehicle to be that big. They price reduced it down to that big.
Oh, really?
They were supposed to go up to space, roll over on their back, and come into the atmosphere with this thing protecting them.
Yeah.
Right? So they go up, get into space. You could go around the globe super fast that way, and then dive in like comets, and you'd have hundreds or thousands of these guys all coming in, like flaming hot because they just came through the atmosphere. It was really cool to hear him describe it. This actually looks like a Garrido to me.
I think it was.
Zooming in on it, that's a beautiful piece.
These
are all repaints?
Yeah, exactly.
Were you doing any of these figure repaints at this point?
No.
No.
No. No.
Okay. Maybe Bob Lavoie.
But he'd do the recolors.
Right.
Yeah, he'd do almost all of them. He didn't mind because he was learning how to use the acrylics for one.
And that's
Because
a good
he
way to
did
learn.
not he did not use acrylics. Like I said, he did. Now this that
new.
almost like I think I did the original on that or something.
Would believe that.
Yeah, or this one. I did it
he's
over
the only
again.
original. He's all new.
Yeah, but I think I think that's mine. That looks like mine.
I would totally believe that.
Yeah.
So that leads me to Sergeant Slaughter on Slaughter's Marauders. How about that one?
That was mine, yeah.
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 So the thing about these two lines, you got one original painting.
Right.
You got an original Copperhead painting, and you got an original Sergeant Slaughter painting.
yeah.
The rest of the paintings were just painted over
Yeah.
from the originals.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So you created the two originals, and then probably Bob Lavoie did the repainting.
Yeah,
of
they
the
did.
others.
He did the backgrounds, and that was a lot easier to do. Actually, probably a lot more fun.
Well, it's a good way for him to learn the medium.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. But I this one here though, it's I look at it now and I'm like, what the frig did I? His arms are too short. His head is too big. The arms are too. I didn't like it. I didn't like.
I'm giving you a pass on that one because the legs coming in the foreground.
No. The rest of it's okay, and but there was yeah. Again, artwork. You know when you do a piece of artwork and you're like, you're kind of like wondering, but then you put the artwork away for like a few weeks, and then you pull it back out again.
Yep.
Then you start to see your mistakes and what you've done.
It's
when
funny.
when you're too close to it and you're working, it's like, oh, what I do is I have a mirror.
Right.
I have a little mirror like this, and so when I'm working, all of a sudden, if something's not looking right, or the overall,
through a mirror.
I'll look at it, reverse it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh yeah. When you reverse it, you can kind of see, your mistakes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, so now we're at 1990, and I think this is where you're gonna start being responsible for a lot more.
Oh, let me contact my lawyer then. So, quick story. So, yeah, you're right. It was a freelance job.
Yep.
But I let Milton Bradley go through my art director, right? Let it go through to my art director, who I knew was my friend. I mean, it was like, we knew each other as much as I knew Harry, because we worked together at a greeting card company for like 30 years or whatever. Right. But so it worked out where he knew about it, and so it's like, well, he's got his own, like one of these deals, he's got his own schedule and his, whatever, and went through the whole thing. And I think I had to do like a mea culpa. I can do it. You know what I mean? But I did it, and that was the first puzzle.
Oh, the 1988.
But he negotiated the money and stuff, which was good.
So the 1988 one was a side project also?
Oh yeah, both puzzles were side. Yeah. I mean other things too, but then he'd get like, because I used to work a lot with. The advertising area, and like Bob Lavoie didn't work in the illustration department. He came in from where they did the pay stubs and they did licensing. But anyway, so I'd get a lot of projects with them too,
right.
In that area. But he had control, the art director. So I let him to go through it. I mean, I got paid good money for it. It was $10,000.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of work.
2 months worth of work, nights and weekends, 10 grand.
But when this one came around again, I didn't pay any attention to it, and all of a sudden he was all upset that I took whatever. But he had to keep it low profile.
Sure. So you spent 2 months on this. This is the 1990 collage. Right. It did turn out in Europe as a 4-piece puzzle set that you could build.
Now Europe, where in Europe?
All over Europe.
Really?
From Britain to Spain to Italy.
So I'm famous over there.
All over Europe. This thing was all over Europe. Also, Greece. This was released on a Greek candle box.
Really?
Right? It was a box about this tall.
Really?
With one of the air commandos with the glider.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's how this was released.
Now, do you have this pasted up too?
I have this from a Greek candle box scan. That's what we restored to make this image. And we actually had to edit this image a little to fit the form factor of the cover. So like we had to go in and cut individual layers out and slide some things and condense, in certain ways.
Yep.
So.
Did you ever get the puzzle?
No, they're super hard to find. I've been able to find 2 of the 4.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, okay.
So.
Wow. I never knew I was famous over there.
This is your baby from back in the day.
This is right here.
This is video game art. Did you create this?
No.
Okay.
No.
This was for the Atlantis
But
Factor, which is a video game.
This is not mine. He copied mine. And here's the guy.
Yes, he copied your General Hawk package art.
This is the guy.
That's right.
That is somewhere in here is the
that actual
the
face?
pose, yeah.
So you created the original General Hawk package art, and then this guy kind of repurposed it.
This.
Yeah.
Just that part
Right,
of it.
right.
Yeah, because it was
talking battle commanders, I
talking,
believe.
right, exactly.
And then this Snake Eyes pose is pretty similar to the package art too.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
Storm
definitely.
Shadow pose
yeah.
is
That's mine.
there's
That's,
your baby. Do you remember doing any of these?
No.
Okay. Still seeing the white separation marks there. All right, so none of these first three.
No.
What about here? Laser Viper.
No, I thought
Free fall?
that's
No?
not mine. No, I did that for the paratroopers. What
Yeah.
was their name? What was the one?
Sky Patrol.
Sky Patrol. I did that whole. Do you have Sky Patrol in?
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yep. We'll get.
Well, you'll see now.
1990. Yeah.
Right.
So that's coming up.
You'll see the guys.
So still none of
I
these?
always liked this one too, but no, I didn't do any of them. No,
Okay.
no.
that.
Hector did that. Hector, yeah, definitely. No, that's Hector with the white outline. This figure is very nice. I
There's a
always
lot of
like.
white separation
Yeah,
lines.
yeah. These guys got the white separate. Yeah.
They got great faces.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, I always liked that one. I like the pose and everything. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. That was nice. Oh, see, that's all mine. Yeah, and there's Dave the Forge. The guy. Dave was my Conan
Nice.
too. Now his face was, like I said, like a Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that him?
So, yeah. Here's Dave here. But anyway, I have that
Try
pose.
to
I have
parody
that pose. in
Yeah,
here,
that's
so-
his hair.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. But I used to use him for everything like that. You know. Yeah. Yeah.
So you did all four of those.
Yep. Yeah,
There's
that
actually
started to
two
be
more.
mine, and these are all mine.
These two as well.
Yeah.
So now we're at the 1990 kind of what I'll call the sub brands.
Yeah.
You know, the sub lines.
Yeah.
Sky Patrol, you did all of them. Sonic Fighters.
Signing, yeah,
You did all
these
of
are all like the offshoots of the, which was fun for me.
And this seems to be really where you got into the photo reference.
Yeah, when I
portraits.
started, yeah. And
hyper-realistic.
There's one
Yep,
of
so
the,
that's
it's a little
Battletech.
darker there. Now this one here, this is Mike Pro. This was the drill sergeant I was telling you. And
Yep.
these are people that work there, obviously. So what, this got mirrored because it's on different
Ah, gotcha.
people. I mirrored it,
Gotcha.
but then that's the face right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's the face.
Excellent.
And then of course you saw Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now, and then this background again, they got a lot more. They were starting to get more clever. Imagine me doing this.
Oh, yeah, that never happened.
No, you know what I'm saying?
With perfect
Well, how would you
circles
do
like
that? I mean, like
By this point,
ruling
you had-
pens?
You had Photoshop and Illustrator by 1990.
Okay.
So I'm thinking they were doing desktop
right.
composition.
They were working for some, you know, big time. We're talking big bucks here
Yep.
with the printing and stuff. I mean, you know. Anyway, these were tough to do because of the trying to get the parachute in there too. And
I
stuff
did like the
that.
feet in the foreground.
Yeah, that was
that.
like, and that's one of his figures. I think I got it from something. I
Yep.
forgot, but yeah.
This is a new innovation for 1990 where instead of having figure bubbles on the vehicles, you guys started painting portraits of the drivers. And I thought this was a huge value add.
Oh yeah, well
over
yeah, right.
Showing the figure bubbles.
Right,
Because candidly, the illustrations are more dynamic than the
Right,
figures
right.
sitting in a bubble.
Right.
So, had you done these? Do you
No,
recall
no,
any of those?
no, not at all.
Don't recall any of
No, but these guys, that's mine.
All right, so you did the Avalanche.
Yeah.
But
again,
you wouldn't have drawn Cold Front.
No, I don't think I don't think I. You know, if I ever got a chance, probably like Bob probably could have even done that.
Yeah.
Because he could work that type of thing like that with no face maybe or something.
Yeah. The way I would say that I knew that this was not yours is the gradients aren't slick like airbrush.
No, right. It's not
The
airbrushed at
transitions
all.
aren't
Yeah.
smooth.
But I think Hector was told to get slicker,
To try to
and he
look
would do
more-
it with a brush, which was
Yeah.
not easy to do with acrylics. That's his because of this. See this? That's
The
his.
red on the
And then
tires.
he's got white around the tire, and so
Yeah.
that's definitely his.
So he was
It's
still
amazing.
working with them
Yeah,
through
this one-
1990.
Yeah, this one's mine. Oh, definitely. So this one's mine. That one's mine. And then this is one of those little trick. I had to do the guy in there in
Yep.
cockpit first. I call it like special effects.
And then how'd you come in and do the logo on top?
The logo, I think I painted it. I told you what I started doing though. Did I ever tell you that, what I did?
Cut out decals?
Yeah, well what I did was I'd get the decal, put it in on if I had a chance to put it on the vehicle,
Yep.
right, the vehicle, and then I'd have Jim shoot it.
Right.
And then I take it.
Oh, in perspective.
Right, in perspective, exactly.
Really?
And then I take the print, and I'd go to the copier,
Cut it out.
and then then cut it out, paste it on. Well, I paint it.
You definitely use printers and reprinting and multimedia and comps
No, I could do that.
like someone like me uses Photoshop.
It's like it's in it all those different things that I do like that to transfer it, or like if it was blue lining, I learned about that, which is messy. But we used to have a copier, special. They were like almost made, but they weren't. They were just like one day somebody just had a friggin' idea. It was a Xerox copier, but they were carbon. They weren't the old, the new ones that are, probably out inkjets stuff.
Yeah.
But they were carbon.
Laser.
So we'd put the drawing on there, send the Strathmore through,
Wow.
and then it would be right on your Strathmore.
Wow.
Yeah.
So any of these vehicles that have the semi-translucent transparency, like this canopy and that canopy, we can pretty much assume that you did it?
Yes,
Your
yes.
special effects?
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to think. I think I started doing it in here too. This. Yep, there it is. So you can read that. See how clean that
the
is?
rescue decal?
That was pasted on.
Yeah.
And then I just.
So that is an actual decal?
Definitely.
I thought you.
No. It's what I did. It's you get the well, they give you the decals.
Right.
And then it's flat.
Why would you paint a decal if you could?
Oh no,
shoot a
but
photo
no,
and
he
transfer
did.
it?
Hector did.
I know he did.
This is Hector's, and he must be going blind with
That's
this
crazy.
with that stuff there.
If you had the option.
Oh, this is mine, by the way.
Oh, so you did do that figure.
Yes. Once in a while, I would
I was
do it.
thinking you would have done some.
Yeah,
of these
this
guys.
one I do remember though. I think I kind of, was experimenting with that lighting again. Oh, this one's mine.
Yep.
These are pasted up.
Yep.
That's pasted up. That's pasted up. That's
Nice.
Otherwise, Hector did it though. See?
Yeah.
That's painted.
Jesus.
It saved hours and hours of time.
So the Piranha was your. So that's probably still Hector too, with the red
Oh
on the,
God,
on
yeah.
the gears.
Every time you see that.
Because there's no reason for the red to be there.
Exactly. Yep.
This is a beast. Looks like somebody used airbrushing on the headlights.
Yeah. He would, sometimes. And
Yeah.
I don't remember if I had to I didn't have to retouch it. I mean, Bob might have had to do it. Bob did that.
Well, that's one of the selling points is that it had working lights, right?
Oh,
so I think
okay.
it was
Yeah,
important
Right.
for them to really call that out.
Yep. Nothing on here. No. Yeah. That's mine. That's the one I did with the reflective.
Raven.
And then this one too.
Sky Shark.
Yeah. Because of my jewelry background, and then I pulled out all my reference. As a matter of fact, I got it sitting right up here. There was a Japanese artist that did.
So those are the only two?
That was that. Those
special?
two, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was it for that. Yeah. But I get the reference for that highly reflective type of mirrored stuff. It's not easy to do, but what you do is you do the sky above and the earth below.
Right.
So anything that drops below, and then you have an horizon line wherever you can make it, right?
Ah, that makes sense. So this is like a mountaintop.
Right,
thing.
and then you do the sky above. So it's a transition. There's no other way you can do it to tell the story of what it is, that it is metal.
All right, 1991. Still looks like a mix of illustrators on the figures.
Yep, it does. Yep.
Let me know if you see any that you remember working on.
I was probably working on that vehicle.
This hand is great.
Yeah.
Coming into the foreground.
Yeah.
Really good foreshortening there.
Yeah. Except
What? Uh-oh.
his shoulders back. And the arms going
Everyone's a critic. He's a robot.
forward. See, when you have your elbow go back,
Right.
you watch the shoulders.
What's weird here is like that's not a sharp white outline. It's kind of like a muddy yellow one.
I remember that though. I don't. Yeah, that's a tough one. Actually, it actually looks a little bit like Hector. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you don't have reference.
Yeah.
And I met him, and he kind of looked like that. So that could be his. Seriously, yeah.
How mad were you when you had to start drawing spring-loaded launchers?
Oh no! That's what I was saying. The one that I did the sculpture of them.
Right.
So this particular one, if I had gotten I didn't do that one. But if I had had that, I would have sculpted it. So yes, no, and no, and no.
None of these, huh?
No, none. Yeah. I remember a few of them. This one I thought was pretty good, and that one too. Yeah, those. This one I think was Hector's. The white outline it gives it away. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yep. So.
I think that's Hector as well.
Yep. Yeah.
To me, this is where you really started making the line your own. And it turns out it's where you started doing the highest volume of figures too. I always assumed that you had done a lot of figures from 87 to 1990, but just going through the books with you, you did less of the 87 to 90 than I thought you did. And when you took over in earnest, you really made it your own with the headshots.
Yeah, well, look at all these people.
Yeah. I'm sure it was an exciting break in the day. All right, this is your
that's mine.
subline, the Eco Warriors. So you got Vinny DeLivia
right
there.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
There's the photo for
and this
that
is
one.
Dave DeForge again, right here.
Right.
That's that guy. That's this one.
Yeah.
Right. It's not that particular one, but it's
Sure.
It's there.
Same guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So anybody that didn't have a helmet on, you basically took a photo of it.
I had to.
So did you do all 8 of these?
Yep. They were all mine. Yep.
All the Eco Warriors. Did you create that gradient background? Do you remember doing anything with that? It's kind of red, orange, yellow, blue, purple.
I had to airbrush that.
It looks like to me that.
No, I had to do. That was one of them I had to do. I did that.
Oh, you did that as
all
part of the artwork.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
It's a good thing. It's funny that you bring this one new.
Yeah.
But this, yes, they had to be because I had to give the little white highlight all around. No, that had to be part of it. Yeah,
you would have been
definitely.
doing with the airbrush.
Yeah. That's funny. You should say that. Wow, that's.
I know my art.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's great. No, this is my friend Harry.
All right, so we've got.
So that's him there right there.
That's great. Plus 40 pounds. Right. Oh, wow. Yeah, you added 40 pounds to the guy.
He was a chameleon.
Right.
Because he could act, like the president of the company.
Any of these drivers?
No, I was looking at.
So these were on the front of vehicle boxes. These were on the back of the Air Commandos.
No.
They didn't create any unique artwork for the Air Commandos. Wondering if you did any vehicles at this time.
This one.
This is where the vehicles got abysmal. This isn't you?
No. Oh.
Is that Bob?
That one looks awful familiar. I think he used one of my fingers. I think, not the vehicle, but, I think that's the one he did. Yeah, these are mine.
I thought so. Yeah. There's a much larger landscape on the original art for these that didn't make it onto the box for the battle
but
copters.
both of those are mine, yeah.
Cool.
I always thought that. Yeah, that's mine. Yeah, that's mine. And again, it's like,
Yeah,
I think they were just starting to do that.
Landscape.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice landscape.
That thing has so much appeal to it. When you see, like when you're a kid or you're a toy, you're seeing it in action.
Yes.
And shooting.
Absolutely.
No, neither one. No. Yeah.
Neither one of those. All right, so now we're to the 1992 figures.
Nope.
This face is good. I think
definitely.
I think it's probably Garrido.
I think so too. Yeah. Yep.
It's
This
amazing
one
the
was
difference.
good. This one I thought was good because
Yep.
the rim lighting and stuff was
Right.
nice. Yeah, definitely. And these are but you can get a better view of the background.
Yeah. I believe you did the 6 for the first year and the 3 for the second year.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I don't remember.
This is
But
1992. The other ones were 1991.
This one was fun.
Yeah.
Because I kind of did.
Toxo's
because I kind of made him kind of like this is that perspective here that you kind of like.
It really reached. I've got an original scan of the chrome of that, without this stuff covering it, and it's awesome. It's one of those things that like jumps out at you.
But now you have more of appreciation because I did the background too.
Right. Is this you or Lavoie?
That's mine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's mine. I remember that one. Anyway, this is Phil Art, but that's
I'll try to pair them
Phil,
up.
and then that's this guy.
Cutter.
Yeah, that's that guy. Yeah, he was in marketing. That guy.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I showed you this guy.
Yep. Headman.
The headman. Yeah. This one was fun. Oh, here, look. These are the things I had to add.
You built those.
I built those. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely with the clay.
Props for all the DEF.
All right, and I guess so. I got this guy, and he looked. It was all in leather, and to illustrate leather, you really need leather. You need somebody in leather.
Yeah.
So what I did on this, I still got the books, matter of fact, I keep everything, is there was a Harley Davidson store right near Hasbro.
Right.
And I got up and I said, I'm going to get some reference. Went over there to see if there any magazines and stuff with leather. And I did. They did have the full outfits with the legs and the whole bit.
Right.
And that's what I used for this one. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite illustrations. I felt like you really hit your stride by the DEF. They're hyper real portraits of people.
Oh, they thought they were like unbelievable. Matter of fact,
imaginative too. Like it's not just a photo of a person. You embellished it by giving him like the messed up skin from doing drugs and the drool. And if you look at his fingernails, the fingernails are all cracked and nasty.
it's what happens now. You know,
Yeah.
you hear about it more and more.
This is super clean. This Mutton Junkyard is super clean. I thought DEF was really when you were like, that's your peak G.I. Joe.
Yeah. And did you know it was being done by somebody else when you were at that time?
It's clearly the style had evolved and shifted by this point.
Yeah, but did you ever look up to see who was doing it?
Oh no, not in terms of like finding names or that kind
Oh,
of thing.
okay. Yeah. I was just.
But I stopped collecting G.I. Joe when I was 11 in 1990. And so when I went back and collected the 90s stuff, I was older and wanted to know.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's. And thank God it did happen.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, those are all mine. Yeah.
These are all your Ninja Force ones. You went down and got some karate.
Now, where is
magazines.
Connie?
She's coming. She's coming. It's year 2. Some of these sublines made it multiple years. And so they're just organizing.
So, like, for instance, this guy here definitely was in that magazine.
Right.
That shot there.
Right.
This I don't remember. This was in the magazine, and there's other ones. I don't know where I kind of got them from.
And I'm seeing your translucent rib cage technique there too. Yeah. That they, like you used on the canopies.
This one's
of
not mine,
vehicles.
matter of fact.
Not?
By the way, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
See how he's got a translucent rib cage
Yeah,
there?
right, yeah.
So whoever did it did a good job showing the transparency of that.
Actually, he did.
That was.
I wonder who did it then.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. This one I remember. Yeah, so.
I think this is a
That's
Bob Lavoie.
definitely, yeah.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was good. He did a good
His
job
little
of that.
character peeking through the glass. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's Bob.
Yeah. That was Bob.
Cobra Rat.
Yeah. That one, and that was mine.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, would you have done the figure cutouts as well?
No, neither one.
Okay, I'm surprised by that.
Yeah.
That somebody else was doing this.
Yeah, I'm thinking Bob might have done doing them, because he
Yeah.
was probably booked with stuff.
Well, he was doing good by that point.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no. I mean, he saved my life. You know what I mean? He made it more, like I said, he made it more convenient for me.
This is a mammoth one.
Oh God, it's amazing stuff.
I think Garrido did this.
Oh yeah, I didn't do it.
Still got all the white separation lines. Still got the.
Thank God,
faces.
and he did do these things because that enabled me to keep doing the figures, and I could get them done quicker. Like maybe 3 or 4 days, and then do the next one. And like those lines of figures that and it doesn't get any better than that.
Right.
Doing the figures.
You'd have more fun doing a line of figures than one
These
giant
are more-
playset.
these are-
And this is boring as hell.
Yeah. All right. What about these? I think that might be Bob as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep, I think you're right. Yep.
All right. Do you remember anything about these two?
No, I think that's Bob Lavoie.
that's
I do
Bob?
think so. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
His faces look consistently.
Yeah, right.
They look Bobbish.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's mine.
This one.
Yeah, definitely. That's the one I started using the decals. But yeah, that's mine. That was the only one that I kind of did like that. A battle. What would you call it?
Oh, like a playset.
A play set. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
Cool.
I animated, the guy, this one upside down, and yeah, that's mine.
So you think you took a photo of the decal?
Oh, absolutely.
and then
These guys,
cocked it up?
started doing that. Yep. And then this one, I saw the original. That's mine too. But I did this for Flying Fighters.
Yes.
Right. And then they ended up using it again.
Yep. They either bought that company or licensed those molds, but yep, those came out as Flying Fighters first.
To tell you the truth, I didn't do this. I didn't do this one.
Okay.
And the face looks like Bob's, but I don't remember him doing it.
Okay.
And you can see the difference in the decals. That's painted. This is when I really started doing the decals. You can see every decal you can read perfectly, and that's how I did it. I started shooting. But anyway, so that's mine. I wasn't originally commissioned to do it. They had this guy there. He had just started, and he did some things, and they're awful. Phil Arndt was the art director, you know, the guy there. And then he said, I'm stuck. And I said, well, let me see what I can put something together.
So
and I put that, and I was not commissioned at the time to do it.
Right.
And that's Blue Line, by the way.
Why were they trying something different by 1992, pushing it towards comic book art for the Cassler?
Well, that was their big thing, so I did it as a portfolio piece, really, basically. From day one, they were doing comic book, and that they said that they wanted to, and then they got the genius there that was going to put it together on computer, you know, one of those deals. And then he couldn't finish it. Anyway.
So this was a video game magazine. One of the rare pieces of painted art.
That's nice,
in the 90s.
Actually. Yeah, that's a nice piece.
I like it. It's
yeah, I do too.
Art Nouveau. It's very flat and like head on, but
yeah, no,
it kind of reminds me of like DiCaprio, like Catch Me If You Can, kind of stylized.
Right.
So I like it.
Yeah.
This looked to me like it could have been yours.
No.
The snake eyes.
No.
Because that stylistically is very different than that.
Yeah. No. It wouldn't have.
So
been. This is mine.
Right. Yep. That's we'll get to him. He's 1994.
Yeah.
You guys came back around to the painted stuff for promotions. This was just like a dabbling experiment.
94 you said?
Yeah, that was General Joseph Colton, 1994. You painted this. You showed me the reference art.
I have
earlier.
that Bob Lavoie, I think, was somebody. But yeah, that's why I pasted in. I started pasting. That looks pretty nice.
So I think this is just a collage of y'all's car art.
A montage.
Yeah. And you had a headshot for...
Yeah, I had that. I did that already.
Yeah, and there's your motif of the target.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. This was video game art for the arcade game.
Again, see now, this is more of a comic book.
Adam Hughes.
Yeah. Who's that now?
Adam Hughes is a comic book illustrator, and I've seen him draw Scarlet like that before.
Okay, well there you go.
I don't think Duke and Roadblock and Snake Eyes look like Adam Hughes, but that Scarlet looks like Adam Hughes.
Huh.
Anyway, it's pretty great.
Well, he might have just whoever did it, which isn't bad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do that stuff. These are those. Yeah. So this I had to sculpt these things. This is mine. Yeah. This one's mine.
All right.
This one's not. Yeah, and this one's fun because I got airbrush stuff too. Yeah.
Right.
And again, I sculpted the launcher. I don't even think they had them yet. All they had was the sculpture sheets.
Yeah.
So that's what I got, a flat sculpture sheet.
Right.
There's Bob. Yeah. This one's they're all mine. They're definitely mine.
That's Bob Lavoie.
Yep. Oh yeah, I have that photo there.
So for whatever reason, like by '93, you were taking over. You were doing a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. These are not. There's Guy Cassidy.
Guy Cassidy, I recognize that Polaroid.
Yeah, this one's mine. Yeah.
Who might have been supplementing you at that point?
I think these are Hector's. Yeah, I remember seeing them. Yeah.
Well, it still has the white lines.
Yeah, and I think that was it. This is probably not one of his best because the head's a little, like not enough neck.
Yeah.
This one's, there you go. This is Duke. That's what I was saying about the grenade. You saw that photo.
That's the chocolate chip camo.
Yeah. That was that. You have such a slight area to work in. You know what I mean, right? And then it kept getting smaller.
Well, I mean, look how much stuff is taking over the car here.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then they started throwing comic books in on top of it.
Yeah, it's stuff.
That's you.
That's mine.
Yeah. That's not you, right?
No. But that was I have him in there, that guy. And then this is mine too.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah.
And not you.
No.
You can tell the difference in the faces, really.
Yeah, the face mostly.
That's the quick giveaway.
Yeah, the face, because there was something, a little more personality.
Yeah.
This one, he worked out great for that guy.
Yeah, that's an awesome pose.
Yeah, right.
You still got the white lines on the ones that are not yours.
This is, and then both of these, I used that leather reference that I got from Holly Davidson.
I love this figure.
Yeah. Holly Davidson is where I got, and then this one's mine. Yeah, this one's mine too.
So you did all four of these?
Yeah. They probably
definitely did that one.
Well, that's that. What's his name? The Joe. He was a maintenance guy. But that's my process with the logo.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see the back.
Right.
So
it was one of the most detailed, most interesting pieces of the figure.
That one. I don't think that's mine.
Is that Bob?
Yeah. No, it's not. No.
Wouldn't have been Bob?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. That one's mine.
I'm thinking this is Hector.
That's that's Hector. That's kind of the same.
I'm learning a lot today. I didn't think Hector was on board that long because I knew Ed was.
No,
cut
he
out.
was. No, we commissioned him. I mean,
Yeah.
he probably made more money without the in between people.
Right. And Ed told me that Hasbro was free to work with him after their
Yeah.
relationship was terminated.
Yeah. No, he was open. He was a self contract. So this is my pose that doesn't work.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out the anatomy there. No,
Yeah, me
I
too.
see the knee going back.
Yeah,
and the knee going forward and the arm.
That was one that probably didn't work.
It's very provocative.
Yeah,
I'm glad you didn't put a woman in
It's
that
a
position.
push. Yeah, no, I don't think that's mine. That
No?
one's not mine. This one's not mine. But this one obviously with Phil Lawrence. You know, Phil.
This is definitely Garrido. The
Yep,
face
yep,
and
yep.
the highlights.
Right,
That
right.
screams Garrido to me.
Yeah.
I recognize your photo
Yeah,
headshots
that-
for this
with-
one.
with him. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
Yep. There's your same roadblock, but
That's not mine.
that's Garrido.
Yeah.
It's the same roadblock, but after they suspended
Yeah,
it and
yeah.
took away that giant launcher,
Right,
they
right.
had to edit the art and remove the launcher too.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a
Yeah.
second version of that.
Yeah.
Another Garrido,
Mm.
more than likely.
Yep, definitely.
Yours?
No, that was not mine,
Oh,
and
maybe
neither
not.
was this. This wasn't mine.
Okay.
Again, no, Hector.
Hector
yeah.
was still getting busy.
Yeah, well, like I said, he probably did better. That's Hector's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the tail is the way he paints faces. It's not photo reference. It's still consistent and it's good, and there's lots of shading and shape,
Yeah.
but it's clearly like not
Well,
based on it.
when you think about it, it's not his fault. He wasn't as lucky as I was having all these people around me, you know, and the faces were all different, you know.
I really did not realize that Hector was contributing that much going this late.
Yeah, well, he went all. I think you'll probably come to the point where we're in outer space, which was
Yeah.
probably the last of
Star Brigade.
the Mohegans there, right? So
Those both
he
look
did.
like Hector to me.
Yeah, those are Hector's. Yeah.
Um,
Those aren't. None of those are. Yeah. Because I was working on this line at the
Yeah.
same. Was that the same time? See, I thought this
this
was
was all
earlier.
for 1993. This is the second year of Ninja Force.
Oh, this. Okay,
Right,
second
right.
year. Okay.
So I feel like
That was
Garrido did all four of these.
Yep.
All six of the Mega
Yeah. See,
Marines are
I never
Garridos.
realized how much he. That's definitely Hector stuff. Yeah. That's a good pose. It's
So these
it's
are-
a little edgy, but
These are all yours, though, right?
yeah, it doesn't.
All of the Ninja
Yeah,
Force.
that was a good one. That guy is flying. Yeah.
There he is with the bow and
Joe.
arrow.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
He was good. That worked out good. Now here's my snake eyes, right? Is that the?
Yep.
Yeah. Again, I think I used the leather for that too, but
Right. So then you get to the Star Brigade. There's Armor Tech figures, which
that's
are like
not
big
mine.
robots.
Yeah, those were still Hector's though. I remember them coming in. This was somebody else, I think.
Yeah, and they duplicated this one piece of art across all these figures. That was the first time I'd see them do that. So bad. So.
Yeah, I remember all these. You know. Now that's mine, and this is mine,
Yeah.
and that's mine too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 1994 Windchill, Sci-Fi
Yeah,
from 93,
right.
I think. General
Yeah.
Hawk from
But you can see
93.
the face. You can see the face. But I remember doing those, and I remember doing this one too. Yeah.
All right, so this is the 1993 vehicles and playsets.
Yeah. This one's mine. That was, and I was
The armor
getting
bot.
better.
Neither of these.
Well, neither one. Yeah. So. Nope.
Nope.
No.
This looked like Fireball Island to me.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is a
yeah.
beautiful illustration.
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah, I like.
sure.
I like that. An adventure
And they
painting.
had to, because they were selling a Jeep and a Dynasty
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
couple figures, so they
Yeah.
had to build a scene
Absolutely.
for it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It shows you an adventure. Use your imagination.
I'm thinking this is still Garrido.
Yeah, it is too. Yep, which was great. I'm happy. I did something on that, but I don't remember.
Well, you said you did the figure, so maybe you did the vehicle too.
That one's mine.
Okay.
Yeah. That
Ninja
one.
Lightning's yours?
Yeah. This one, no, I didn't do that. Bob did one of those.
Yeah?
But I don't know if it was that one though. But he remember him doing one of those.
Right.
Because it kept being revamped again.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously that's the Pogo, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
Right.
Yep. Good memory.
Yeah. Well,
This is your
that's
armor bot, baby.
Oh yeah, thank you very much for the big double page
spread on that one. Plus, I gave him a cutout.
Right, which that's mine too.
I had the
yeah,
space
like I
to do
said.
it, you know,
Yeah.
You know.
Unbelievable job there.
If you're
That was
passionate
mine.
about a topic, it's going to show in your